What is going on, YouTube? PPS back. It is past the prop. It is Monday. We're coming at you guys. Small NBA slate, but I'll be dropping some college basketball here as well. Joined as always by my guy Stu. What is good, my man?
Everything's good. Everything's good. I mean, I'm trying to get those tweets out, so running a second behind right here. But yeah, I'm doing great, man. I mean, I've had a very good NBA weekend. You talking about college basketball. I've just been tailing you and a couple other people, Prop Bet Guy, and some of the guys over at FTN. So I've just been having a lot of fun. I mean, not having to do any work and just tail your college, winners and throw in some parlays with my NBA bets. It's been a lot of fun. So I'm really enjoying this. I know you're going to have some good spots today. Ready to keep it going?
Yeah, we got one spot so far on the docket we're looking at today, so we'll be talking about that shortly. But yeah, let's take a look at the chat. We got 7 or 8 of you guys in here already. We appreciate you guys popping in right away. We got Terrence in the chat, first guy in there, small slate. Hopefully have some big wins. Yeah, we'll kind of talk about that in our recap here. These long shots have been wild lately. Turbo, obviously always in here. Jay, Steve, we even got Ryan in here this morning. Hope all is going well. I know it's an absolute shit show of a day out here in Wisconsin, just raining all morning. It's almost like a rain sleet type of deal. So not fun, but hopefully we'll be able to come back with some winners here and make it a little better.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, over here in Virginia, I got a little snow the other day this weekend, which was a little bit surprising. But we're back to 50 and relatively sunny over here, so it's getting better. I think it'll make its way to you eventually, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah, we could use it. Definitely could use it. It's just been a gloomy couple days for sure. So let's take a look at how we did last week. I mean, another profitable show. I think I mentioned to you, I think that is now 4 official long shots in a row. If you count the Jimmy Butler double-double and not the Draymond side. Because obviously I parlayed them just because I had to have a bigger parlay than you, because you had a big one that day. So I had to throw an extra one on there. But let's talk about how we did there. Let's look. I believe this one came through, correct?
Yes, it did. And then I was trying to run it back yesterday, and they took away the 3 first quarter points. They were not going to let that happen again. But yeah, Cam Johnson's my guy. I love this dude. He's just so consistent. So good start.
Yep. And then Anthony Edwards obviously came through pretty easily in this one. I think he ended up with like 46 or 47 in there. So fun game, really fun one to watch there. Obviously a crazy high total. And then Porzingis Brunson.
Brunson was the letdown of the slate that day, unfortunately. But yeah, at least you lose the half unit, make a half right there. But yeah, Brunson let me down in that one.
Yeah, I know. I think it's just because he knew your old slander against him, so he had to have a letdown day. But Paul George, 2.5 threes hit in first couple minutes of the second quarter, so pretty easy there. And then he came through for the boys there in the third quarter. He ended up getting his 5 threes. So yeah, we've been heating up on these long shots. Like I said, 4 in a row now. So hopefully we can continue that. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have a long shot today with only 4 games, but we'll see what's up. Holiday, I believe, Allen double-double, correct?
Yeah, Holiday ended at 7, I think, because Giannis got ruled in. He was iffy all day. He got ruled in, and then he got injured mid-game anyway. But yeah, we made it close, but no cigar.
Yeah, no, it was weird. They played him, had like a weird quad bruise or something, and came out. So I don't know what's going on with him right now, but hopefully they can continue to get some treatment for him. Obviously the Bucks are only I think a game out now of first, or half a game out. 14-game win streak. I think almost half of them without Giannis in the lineup, which is crazy. Yeah, it was a fun game. I wanted to bring this up because I can't trust him, bro. How can I trust him? He had one game that he did what everybody kind of thought he would do, and then the second game he goes back to what we knew could happen, where he only played 25 minutes and was extremely efficient in those 25 minutes, but still didn't even get that run in the fourth quarter. So I don't know if I could say that I can do it. Obviously, I know he did cash it in that first game, but man, just those minutes, man, it's hard to play somebody when his minutes are like that, when you have no clue.
I mean, just off the bench, we got Gordon, we got Powell, Covington, like all these different bones is now over there. It's so hard to see who they're going to play. And Batum, obviously, is another huge guy. I know Eric Gordon, people were real mad. He was stealing all the minutes last night from Russ. So it's one of those weird circumstances where, like, the Clippers have so much depth. They have so many guys that unless somebody is injured, it's going to be really hard, like you said, to kind of establish who goes off on any given day. It's one of those situations you're kind of guessing a little bit. But it's always Russ. We know Russ at the end of the day. He's going to grab those rebounds, grab those assists. It just depends on, if he gets the minutes or not to get there.
Yeah, no, it's tough. And I like that you mentioned all those guys because, I mean, you have to say that's the deepest team in the NBA, right?
Probably, yeah. I mean, yeah, I would have to assume so. I mean, I would say so probably.
Yeah, I don't know any other team. Maybe Celtics, but even then, I think that I think Russ obviously is a little higher upside than you're going to have with like your Whites and Malcolm Brogdon and stuff like that.
Yeah, I would just say like they have the guard flexibility. They don't have the big man flexibility. They don't have the wings. Sam Hauser, Cornette, Blake Griffin. These are guys that you feel a lot less comfortable with in playoff basketball. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's the thing is it's you really those are the only two guys you can rely on. That's why I won't bet anybody else on that team besides mostly Paul George. I don't even trust Kawhi really that much, even though he has looked extremely good, man. He's looking healthy and scary down the stretch here, especially when you have a Western Conference. I think that's a lot deeper. Obviously, Eastern Conference really top heavy at the moment, but Denver looks good. I don't understand the Sacramento slander because these dudes are actually playing very good basketball. Like I watched that full game last night against OKC, and I get it, but like it's hard to score with them. Like it's very hard to score with them because you have to double down on Sabonis, or else he just takes the guy one-on-one. Then you have like all these snipers, dude. They're all just shooters. Kevin Huerter from 35 feet. You got Keegan Murray from 30 feet. De'Aaron Fox can take anyone one-on-one, dude. It's a tough team, and I understand everybody wants to throw some shade on the Sacramento Kings, but I'm excited. I think they could do a little bit for me, and I just really like how they play basketball. I really enjoy watching them.
I mean, I do too. I just don't think they're necessarily a playoff threat. Like, if you had to give me a choice, I'm like, yeah, I'll play the Kings. I definitely would rather play that team than like the Lakers or the Warriors or a team like that has all those superstars ready to go. It's one of those situations where obviously Fox and Sabonis are very, very good. But the thing I really don't love is in a playoff series, do you want to have to rely on Malik Monk to hit 5 threes or Kevin Huerter? Like these teams that are built around kind of setting up these outside shooters mean when they go cold, when they're faced with a really good defense, then it's a lot harder to trust a Malik Monk out there, Keegan Murray. So, and then they also don't play defense, which you forgot to mention in there as well.
So. Well, I don't know if they play the Lakers, I'd take the Kings. I know everybody will take the Lakers.
Maybe we'll have to bet on that when I hope that happens. I'll take the Lakers.
Yeah, everybody would take the Lakers, dude. Everybody would, and I know they would, and I still would take. I would go on the other side of that for sure because they're averaging like 119 a game. Like that's like their average. Like there's like even if you just said Malik Monk goes cold, dude, they got 4 other dudes. They got 4 other dudes that do the same thing. I mean, obviously not as explosive and off the dribble like Malik Monk, but that's what I'm saying though. There's not many other teams can just bring in like. Just 6 or 7 dudes who can just shoot 35+% from 3. And you can't just leave Sabonis one-on-one with anybody, really. He's shown that he's obviously got the ability there. Prayers up to my freaking triple-double bet last night. I had Sabonis. He had 9, 5, and 5 in the first quarter and still did not get there. Ooh. Had 3 assists the entire rest of the game. And a lot of missed shots off of those passes, dude. It was disgusting. And they gave it to me at plus 550. And I fell for it, and I thought it was so easy. Oh, yeah, 100%.
I mean, that's probably because Sabonis would probably average 14 points a game, matched up with.
Well, I mean, dude, Sabonis ain't scoring right now. He doesn't have to.
I know, but like, also De'Aaron Fox, I like the guy. He doesn't shoot threes. Let's remember that. He's not a guy that really spaces. He's not a threat from beyond the arc. Neither is Sabonis. So your 2 best players aren't threats from beyond the arc. They're not particularly good defenders. And now you have to rely on Malik Monk, Keegan Murray, these other guys to step up. I'm not willing to believe in the Kings right now. Like I said, I'm much more scared of some of these other teams. Even on the East, like the Cavs, I'd rather play the Kings than have to deal with the Cavs or the Raptors, where you just get 8, 6, 9, defenders out there, shutting you down all game. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know if I'm loving this Kings love. They're like the Jazz. They're like a regular season team. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, as much love as I have for D'Angelo Russell and Dennis Schroeder, because you guys know I love them. Fuck no, they ain't guarding no De'Aaron Fox, bro. He's freaking dude. There's no chance. And we can take a little props bet on that too. I'll take Fox average over 25 in that series, and I don't even think it'll be particularly close.
I don't even know if the book number will probably be higher than 25 if they have a series
I'll
average.
take 32 if you want. You get better give me plus odds though for that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hey, the good thing about this, before we get into the bets, I mean, these kind of discussions, right? We're seeing some really good basketball right now. You kind of mentioned it with the games yesterday. Phillies had some great games. They had the Jaw game and then the Celtics, I believe. There's just been a lot of very fun games. Yesterday, that Clippers-Nuggets game was phenomenal. Just tons of great basketball right now, which, hey, I can't complain at all.
And, hey, it's Dame time, baby. Always got to bet on Dame. Obviously, he came through for your boy there again. And we talked about it. I remember specifically what I said word for word. How many shots is this man going to take with no Anthony Simons? And he almost did it. I said he was going to shoot 35 times a game. Pretty sure he shot 33 times yesterday and still scored 71 points. It was just incredible to watch. My love for my boy KJ Martin came through again with his rebounds, throwing down hammers on these dudes. Ooh, man, that Portland interior defense is fucking bad. It is brutal, dude. It was so bad. Sengun was just cooking those boys. It was a good game. I just wish it would have stayed closer, but obviously no Jalen Green or Kevin Porter Jr. It's tough on any team having two of your best guys not even available to play. Hopefully they're coming back soon because it's a fun team to watch when they are actually healthy, because then you can actually run and gun and not just get torched on defense.
They're a fun team to watch if you bet on them. If you just like fundamental basketball, then I think.
We ain't looking for that here.
You probably
Joe knows that we ain't looking for that.
I mean, hey, I just saw something earlier. Like the Spurs have lost 15 straight games or something, and they don't even have a worse record than the Rockets yet. So Rockets are, tough basketball time right now. I hope Wembanyama goes somewhere else. I don't want them to ruin this guy. Okay, I don't want to see him down there. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so let's take a kind of overlook. I guess we can only really talk about two games because a lot of the other stuff doesn't even have props out. But we got two good Eastern Conference games. Obviously, we got the Knicks in action. We got the against the Celtics. We have 76ers, and they're playing against Miami, I believe. So should be good two games there. I think those would be the only two we would even use yet with the Bojan injury. So all the props are down. So let's kind of just talk on those two. You have any preference on which game you like more?
I guess it's probably the Knicks Boston for me. I mean, the obviously Boston's without Jaylen Brown, I believe, in this game right here. And I think the Knicks have been playing some pretty solid basketball recently. So they obviously have some, the Hart addition was nice. They've got Randall playing pretty good. Randall's one of those guys, he always likes to show up against another kind of big name, right? So the Randall Tatum matchup, I think, will definitely be one to watch. So I would say that's what I'm looking out for the most. I like when these stars play another, big name.
No, for sure. Definitely think that there's a look to be had there. I would lean that way just because obviously the Bucks are chasing, and they're chasing that Celtics team for that one spot. I think the one seed is huge. Obviously, coming to play in Milwaukee versus playing out in Boston, it's a big difference. So I would lean that way just because I actually have some reason to lean that way. But that would definitely be where I'm at. There's some good games though. I'm happy that we got some good matchups, kind of across the board too. So should be good. I'm excited for the slate tonight. Just really shitty for props. These are not the games that we look for props.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Hornets Pistons could be fun. I like that, but they took all our props away. So I know Mark Williams is one of the most chalk guys on the slate today, but obviously his props are down. one thing I do want to say while we're on that, I like his blocks tonight. That would be something fun. FanDuel has defense again, which is nice, and you can ladder it now. I feel like 4 blocks, something like that, at like, plus 600 is really good value. We just saw Podol do that same thing. He's playing against Wiseman and Bagley out there. That's block city. So something to look out for a little bit later.
Wiseman, Bagley, and maybe no Stewart, right? I mean, if Stewart plays, that's important, dude. He could be the breaker of the slate if you're playing DFS tonight with no Duren, because that man could run a lot of minutes, and obviously you're not going to see them run Wiseman into those 30-ish, 32 minutes, right? You're not going to see that, right? Bagley's got enough injury history as well to not see those 30 minutes. Stewart, that man just runs, guns, up and down, shoots threes, and he's just a high-energy dude. So we love to see that there, and hopefully we can get some news relatively early in that one. But let's kick it over to you. Obviously, we only got 2 plays today. One for me, that's college basketball, 1 NBA spot. So we'll get these out. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit of a shorter show today. We don't have much to talk about with a full game, probably the best game with no props on the other side with all the value props. So we'll get out here and make sure you guys check out Twitter for some extra spots too today as well. Let's check it out.
Yep, for me, I went with Joel Embiid over 10.5 rebounds right here. This is minus 125 over on Caesars Sportsbook right now, playing it for half a unit. I like this spot. I think my logic is pretty simple right here. One, we get Embiid refreshed, which is not something you get, right? We're only 2 games out of the All-Star break. He's played some pretty heavy minutes in those games, but obviously we see the effect that a refreshed Embiid has on his rebounding because we know the scoring is there, right? We know he's going to be a guy that can score 40 points any given night, right? But when we actually look, he's healthy. He's looking good out here. 19 and 12 rebounds in back-to-back games since coming back right here, averaging 11.1 over his last 10 games and then 10.9 at home. So this is right around the season average right here. But one of the biggest reasons I like it is his career history against Bam Adebayo right here. Obviously, one of the best defensive centers, if not the best defensive center in the league. That's a tough matchup. And when you look at the points in these career matchups, they have not been too good, right? We're seeing a lot of 22, 23. He had a 29. There were some solid games in there. But when you look at the rebounds, 15, 12, 11, 19, 11, 18, and 2 since 2018. That 2 game obviously had some interesting circumstances, but obviously hit this in 5 of his last 6 since 2018. And when you look at games that he struggled in points, over 4 of his last 5 games where he hasn't scored 30 points, he has at least 11 rebounds in those games. The one game he did miss, he had 10 rebounds. So it's one of those situations where sometimes your scoring isn't there. You're not necessarily providing in that way that you normally do. You got to step up in the other facets. That the defense is going to be there, the rebounding is going to be there. I like that he's fresh. I like that he's coming out aggressive. 2 very strong rebounding performances so far. I'm ready to keep sticking with Embiid right here.
Yeah, don't hate it. Obviously, I love these good defensive matchups for rebounds. We like it with another center on the other side. Bam ain't shooting no threes. We talk about this a lot. At least I do. I bet a lot of rebounding props. It's usually one of my favorite ones to bet on. And we want those centers down there. We want them fighting. We want them having a guy there that's going to compete with them. And obviously this is a fun matchup. We've seen these guys battle it out a lot throughout the playoffs, throughout these games that actually matter. So no issues on my end here. Would you consider a ladder? Terrence brings up, obviously always looking for that big money spot.
I don't mind the ladder just because I do think it's a pretty solid matchup right here. What I will say about that, though, is, it's still a slower pace game, 2 strong defensive teams. That's going to limit your overall rebounding opportunities over the course of the game. I like to ladder rebounds with real volatile guys, a guy that you either see at 6 rebounds or 17. There's tons of guys. Mark Williams is one we just talked about earlier that's all over the place. Embiid is fairly consistent. He's normally within that kind of 9 to 12 range. You don't see a whole lot of 20 games, right? Clint Capella, Jared Allen, these are all guys that probably have more 20 rebound games than Embiid so far this season. So I'll probably hold back on that just with the general slow pace of this game.
Perfect. And yeah, I guess I don't really have much else in NBA. I have one NBA bet out and not even going to be bringing that up. We'll be bringing up just a college spot. This is probably one of my favorite college spots. Unsure if I'm going to do a YouTube play of the day video because this would have probably been that one because I like it that much. And it's a team that I've backed a lot so far this year. This is the last game before the conference tournament starts up for a lot of these teams. So you guys know, if you follow me for a while, this is one of my favorite conferences. I love the Big Sky Conference. I've got two teams that I love to play. Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado are those two teams. And Northern Colorado has a fun matchup tonight against Idaho State. We saw these guys play earlier this season with a 173 game total, which obviously we just talked about how we don't want to see those games that don't reach 100, but in college, that is a very, very, very high total. Just to kind of put that in perspective, it was a 145 total pregame in their first matchup. But what I do really like is obviously Northern Colorado's got dudes, right? They have two guys that most nights when they're in the Big Sky Conference will be the two best scorers on the court, and that is Dalen Kuntz and Mr. Necht. I think that's how you say his last name. I've watched a lot of him, and Kuntz has obviously been a stud there for a while. But what I love about these dudes is they just shoot the hell out of the three ball, right? They're fantastic, fantastic three-point team. Obviously, when you have two dudes that just absolutely snipe at 40%, that doesn't hurt, right? When you have two dudes who can do it. But Northern Colorado right now shooting 37%. They're top 50 in the country from deep. We like the pace for Northern Colorado. Again, in the top 100, they're an absolutely terrible defensive team. I'm not betting on their spread. I'm not betting on anything else just because I know how bad that defense is. But that's why I do usually stick to team totals in their games, because they're bottom 300. There's 358 teams. They're in the bottom 307. They rank in terms of adjusted defense. For their top 100 pace team, you have two dudes who can score at an absolute will on these guys. And lastly, I know we started getting into this a little bit earlier on in the season on what we like in these bets for over on Prize Picks, right? When we started talking free throw bets. Northern Colorado is playing Idaho State. That first matchup this year, there was a combined 47 fouls in that game. 47 fouls, 67 free throws in that game. So a lot of money made at the line, but this isn't new for Idaho State, right? I'm looking at how many they allow per game, right? Idaho State ranks 257 in the country, allowing 19 free throws per game. So this isn't a fluke. Like, that's something that does happen in a lot of their games because they really don't know how to defend without fouling. And I mean, that's a lot of college teams. And now you get Colorado at home here. Ooh, sign me up. I'm all over Northern Colorado today. And I think this is probably going to be one of my favorite spots of the night.
Yeah, I love that. I love that free throw angle right there. I mean, if there's a time, to just take advantage of all those fouls, the team that's already fouling a lot, now, like you said, gets two very good scorers that they have to try to contain. Hey, maybe we'll get there on just free throws alone. So obviously, I don't know anything about Northern Colorado. In fact, I didn't even know it was a real school. I've never heard of this place before. I'm sure it's lovely. Don't want to offend any of our listeners out there currently in Northern Colorado, but I'm definitely going to be telling you, because at the end of the day, I'd much rather be betting on these markets where I feel like as much as the guy setting the line than, the 10 best teams in the country where everyone is betting on that. I mean, at first I kind of made fun of you for it a little bit, rightfully so. You are betting on Northern Colorado,
Hey, the Bears, baby. Bear down, huh?
I was thinking of some names. I wasn't getting at Bears. Nuggets felt too on the nail with the Colorado. I don't know. That's interesting, but I'm definitely telling you right here, obviously a fairly high number from my understanding of college basketball, but I'm hoping these two teams just don't play deep. I'm going to try to watch this game. I have no clue where I can find it. You're going to have to send me some links or something like that, but I'm going to try to watch this game. I'm inspired now.
This is such a big game. They're going to have it on ESPN Plus. That the Big Sky has a lot of their game on ESPN Plus. So, like I said, Northern Colorado has been kind of bad this year in terms of like actually getting wins. They're like 5-12 in conference, but dude, they are never in a boring game, right? They're a boring game. They're fun to watch, and they're a 5.5 point favorite against a team that's 3.5 games above them. That's how big of an advantage it is playing in Colorado here. So I can't get away from this spot. Obviously, it could get ugly though. Like, just I want everybody to know this. Like, when I get DMs and I get like the comments like halfway through a college game, please don't just judge from a half of college. It is worse than NBA, guys.
Yeah.
It's way worse than NBA in terms of what can happen in the second half. I'm sure we have guys in here, right? Terrence, I know, is one of my guys in my chat there. where we have games where they score like 28 in the first half and they still cover something like this. They can score 50 points in a half. A lot of these teams can. So calm down. You can give me some shit if we lose it, right? Let it get to the end though, because college, right? It is crazy, absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I know Turbo 2 will know exactly what I'm talking about. That Gonzaga free play I put out, right? I gave that out. There was 20 points scored in the first 8 minutes, and they still covered 78 points in the first half. That's how crazy these go. It's one guy hitting one bucket, a crazy bucket, right? Right before a shot clock violation, they hit a crazy shot. That can turn everything. Like these college games are nuts. It's just it turns on a dime here, and I want to get that out here because I don't do college bets on past the prop. So just slow it down there if we start seeing because you will see a 5-minute stretch without points. It happens in a lot of these games. Like Memphis fucked me over yesterday.
Yeah, I've noticed that just as a casual bettor where I'm like tailing over 74 and it's like 30-30 at halftime. And I'm like, what are we doing here? But it feels like every game it's like 30-30 at halftime, and then suddenly it just explodes in the second half. So I agree. I haven't gotten quite to the level of annoying where I text you about it, but I have in my head been like, what are we doing here? Like, why have they only scored 25 points? You know what I mean? But the patience is definitely rewarded. Very streaky out here.
Yeah, dude, it's wild. It is wild how bad some of these stretches get in the game there. But I'd take it probably up to 76.5. But this will definitely be my biggest play of the day. And there's a couple other spots that are nice, but it's a lot of conference games there. So there's not many of them that I do like overs because obviously you're fighting for that last spot. You know, like a lot of these tournaments, some of them, those seedings matter, right? Like this game could move teams up, right? It could move them up above Montana possibly. It could go bring them down. You have to play somebody way better. Like if they have to end up playing Eastern Washington, which is a wagon team for me, that's not a good matchup for anybody really. So I kind of like Eastern Washington again today, but I think Northern Colorado is my favorite of the Big Sky tonight.
I'm in. Like I said, never heard of it before, but hey, what's going to stop me now? I bet on golfers I've never heard of all the time. So let's run it. I'm down.
Oh yeah, dude. I've betting on freaking. I know he's your boy, Harry Higgs. Betting on Harry Higgs, and I was luckily able to cash in on who was it? Ben Taylor, highest English guy. He ended up being like 6 strokes ahead of the second highest English dude. So, yeah. Let's take a look here. Okay, so we have a guy. It looks like Don wants some stuff on the West Virginia game. Let me pull that up here. Let me take a look here.
I almost wore my West Virginia hoodie. So if that tells you anything about this, I don't bet on the games, but I almost wore my hoodie today. So that could be a sign that West Virginia is the move. I don't know if you have any real analysis there, but
I have no take on that game, truly. I just think it's going to be ugly. So if I'm betting an ugly game with a low total, like a 134 total, Iowa State plays extremely slow. I probably would lean with the points. It's just hard for me to trust West Virginia. Iowa State's been playing good basketball, and they're at home. So I think this is one of those spots where like I just won't play anything, right? I don't need to bet on this game. There's a lot of things going one way, a lot of things pulling me the other. So I will not be betting on that game. I guess if I had to take a gun to my head, I'd probably take the points. But I'm seeing 4.5 on most books now. So just kind of a heads up on that. But nothing else.
I will have to say my sweatshirt narrative is cool, but AAPG's been on the show like 80 times, and he's a big Iowa State guy. So I don't think I have to take back my previous statement, by the way. I can't go against him publicly. Hopefully he comes back on the show pretty soon for baseball. So I don't want that negative energy out here. I'm Team Iowa State. Whoa.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I won't be betting against this team. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Just take the money, put it on red. It's 50-50 chance, my guy. That's pretty much what I feel about this game. Like, it's a well-set line. It's probably the most bet game of the day, probably outside of North Carolina, probably, or Baylor. But, I mean, it's tough. I've watched them, right? But it's like when you see enough things going on each side, like I want to know that I have a distinct advantage or I have an absolute reason on why I'm going there, right? You could bet, like tonight's game, Baylor, right? You got Baylor, Oklahoma State, 1 point spread, like, right? We're not just going to take it just because it's a close game and we want to pick. I mean, that's like, it's like what he said, 50-50 chance. I mean, I think the Atlantic Sun is the only one that's starting their official tournament today. So, like, starting their conference tournament, this is like that last spot, right? Jay bringing up your boy Daniel. Hey, Daniel Gafford's been a homie to me, so I got no issues with my boy Daniel Gafford there.
Me neither. I saw you cashed on him yesterday, Jay, too. I ended up going a little different in that game, but hey, I ended up 2-0 too. So I love to see it, obviously. I wish Wizards played every day. If I was the schedule maker, they're just playing, every single day. Hard to say.
Oh gosh. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I bet on a lot of low levels. Like, I bet a lot of low level schools. I haven't even scratched Norfolk State this year. Not even touched that league at all. If you want stuff on like Big Sky, you want stuff like the Southern Conference, I'm your guy. I bet a lot of stuff in there. But a lot of these games that you're kind of bringing, those are low. Those are even lower than me, and that's tough to do, dude. I'm digging in the dirt. You're going down. You're at the bottom of the roots of the trees down there. You're past me, so you're digging down there. But I do like Norfolk State. I would take them 3.5. I know nothing. I have not watched them this year, but just from what I know from years prior. But that's probably why I would not bet it, because I have not. I don't feel like I have an advantage over the book at any means talking about these guys. Oh yeah. We love the Horizon League, my guy. We love the Horizon League. That is some fun stuff. Hey, that's another one. Throw that in the PPS pocket there. I will be betting a lot of Horizon League. I told you guys, Youngstown State, if you get them, take them to win that tournament. I don't know if they have that open on books yet, because they haven't released like the seedings. So I'm not sure if there's another game yet before they do the seedings and stuff. But really want to get after those guys. If they're giving me any sort of plus money, I will be all over Youngstown State to win the Horizon League.
I'm in. Doesn't take much talking over here, okay? I'm excited to tail these, conference championship, March Madness. It's a lot of fun for me as someone that just doesn't really care at all and can just cash these tickets on random guys. It's great.
Yeah, it's like when I'm sure when you go up to like a buddy of yours saying what he got for today, and you're saying, hey, I'm taking Andre Iguodala steals. I'm taking fucking Mark Williams steals blocks over 2.5. I'm taking these gritty, grindy, crap players to get their job done on that day. Like Naz Reid last night. How free was 26.5 PRA when they opened that shit, bro? That shit was nice. That guy cashed it on points alone. Naz Reid, league MVP soon when he gets them minutes. When he gets those 30-plus minutes, that man, dude, he could be like Jimmer Fredette across seas. Put him out there. Dude's dropping 50 pieces on these dudes. Like, he's dropping 29, 10, and 5. Like, come on now. That is nuts.
He's always been pretty impressive off the bench over there. I guess defense might be a weakness overall, but he's real athletic.
Oh, yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible. He's terrible defensively. Detroit Mercy is kind of on my shit list. I can't get away from those guys.
That's a real school. It's called Detroit Mercy University.
Titans. Detroit Mercy Titans. Dude, how do you not know this, bro? They have a guy who could be leading the entire NCAA ever in points scored on their team.
They're obviously not too good at branding that. I mean, I know most of the Michigan teams, but yeah, I'm not hip to Detroit Mercy. But hey, times are changing. Yeah, I guess I got to get hit.
Yeah, you gotta turn it up a little bit because I think his last name's Davis, right? Antoine Davis. I think he's going to be the leading NCAA scorer after if they can win 2 games or probably 1 game because the dude's averaging like 28 a game.
Hell yeah.
I'll kick this to you, Stu, before we head out of here. Any thoughts on triple-double LaMelo Ball tonight? Plus 490 at the moment.
Yeah, I would say I think it's a good spot. I mean, I think we're seeing a lot of rebounding opportunities built up now. It's a complete free for all without a real center in Plumlee. Now Williams is going for him. They got Richard off the bench. I know JT Thor, I believe, is playing over there as well as another big. PJ Washington, LaMelo. Effort's going to be there. We know that LaMelo is definitely one of those guys that grabs the boards. I think there's going to be a lot of shots kind of chucked up in this game. I think it's going to be an ugly game. So I think there's a clear path to LaMelo getting a triple double. I definitely don't hate that one at all.
Yeah, I mean, I do like that spot. It's just like I said, you need to get that full money, right? You got to get that full. Hopefully, I mean, if you can build it out and get plus 550, that's not. I like that line a lot better. I'd have to be plus 500 or so. All right, Stu, quick show today. I guess we can recap our quick plays, huh? You can do it quick.
Yeah, sounds good. I went over to Joel Embiid, over 10.5 rebounds, minus 125, over at Caesar Sportsbook. Played that one for a half unit.
And I'll be on the Bears of Northern Colorado, team total over 75.5. Would take this up to 76.5, minus 120. I really like this play tonight, guys. I'm hoping the Bears can come through for your boy here.
Oh, yeah. Go Northern Colorado. Woo! That's my guys.
Hey, well, you know who else you could be betting on, Stu? You could be betting some other Big Sky. Got Northern Arizona out there today. We got the Eastern Washington. They're beasts, though. I won't talk shit on Eastern Washington ever, dude. Those guys are fucking beasts. They continue just like the cash tickets everywhere. I mean, you could be out there betting on Montana State. You could be betting Portland State versus Sacramento State tonight. I mean, there's a lot of Big Sky action out there waiting for you.
Maybe next year.
Beautiful, beautiful. Stu, what do you got for the people before we head out of here? 30 of them made it all the way through. What do you got for them?
Yeah, no, I mean, today was obviously good. A little bit of a smaller slate. You know, I feel like we've both been killing it recently. So I kind of wish we had a 10-gamer, but I like that we didn't get greedy. We're not out here forcing anything. We've been cashing the long shots, but we have like 8 options right now. So we're going to hang out. We're going to bet. We're going to keep it going. Make sure to follow us both on Twitter. Obviously, that's where a lot of the plays will be at for the rest of the day, especially if they keep dropping these guys 10 minutes before the game starts. Okay, I don't have any other choice. So make sure to follow over on Twitter. Obviously, join Discord, pick at all those other spots. Definitely, yeah, I'll have tons of plays out for the rest of the week. So we got that to look forward to.
Yep, just have those notifications on, guys. We'll be dropping plays. I've been dropping college baseball spots. I've been dropping plays pretty much across the board, pretty much whatever you could think of. We're probably betting on there, and I know you're going to have more plays once these lines open up. I know a lot of these late injury newses. You're one of those guys that I have to have notifications on because you got those plays like 15 minutes before the slate because that's when they open up a lot of these first quarter spots that you can get into. So make sure you guys go over there and take a look at those and have the notifications on there. So, Stu, I guess last one for you. Knicks money line. Is this something that might find its way to the monotone football card?
No, it feels like it would need to be like plus 170. Like, I think it'll be a good game, but I think there's one team in this game that's clearly better than the other team in this game. And I don't think the Knicks are that team. So to compensate for that, I need a little bit better odds than plus 120, I think, just to be honest.
Okay. There you have it, guys. There you have it. So Montana State. I got no take on that game. If I'm gonna do anything, a lot of these games that I'm betting, dude, I'm not betting sides. I rarely bet sides. You're talking Montana State. That would be like one of the only games that I would bet a side. Right there, you're talking about back in against my boys. You're talking against my wagon team here. I am definitely not taking Montana State ever over Eastern Washington, dude. The Eagles, they're my boys. They're my team. If anything, I was actually thinking of Montana. Montana, I believe, is playing Idaho tonight. I like them. If I was going to take a spread there, I think they're 4.5. Will never, ever fade my Eastern Washington team. So, unfortunately, you picked the one side that I would never touch there. So, that is my spot there. Stu, you can read DM Punk's background there just so you can kind of get caught up on the Detroit Mercy Titans. And I think we're going to be ready to roll here. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We appreciate all you guys. Still 25 of you guys in here still. So thank you guys. Have a great rest of your day, and let's kill this mini Monday slate.